For years, I had served countless baskets of chicken fingers at the bustling Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers restaurant. It was a mundane job, but the familiarity of the place, the smell of crispy chicken, and the chatter of customers became a part of my life. Little did I know that beneath the surface of this fast food haven lay something deeply unsettling. Something that would change my perception of the place forever. My journey into this nightmarish tale began one unusually quiet evening. The sun had set, and the restaurant was dimly lit, with the neon Cane's sign flickering ominously. I was wiping down the counters when I noticed something odd a door, tucked away in a dark corner of the storage room. It wasn't like any other door I had seen before. It was old, wooden, and painted a faded, rusty red. My curiosity got the better of me, and I approached it. My hand trembled as I turned the rusted knob. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow, dimly lit corridor that stretched further than I could see. Goosebumps prickled my skin as I felt a chill rush over me. What was this place? How had I never noticed it before? I cautiously stepped inside, the darkness swallowing me like a shroud. The corridor was suffocatingly narrow, the walls lined with peeling wallpaper and strange, faded paintings of chickens in unnatural poses. The air was heavy, damp, and carried a putrid odor. I followed the corridor deeper into the darkness, my heart pounding in my chest. After what felt like an eternity, the corridor opened into a small room. It was unlike anything I had ever seen. The walls were covered in ancient scribbles, symbols that made no sense to me. In the center of the room, an old ornate mirror hung on the wall, its surface cracked and clouded. But what unsettled me the most was my reflection. In the mirror, my face contorted into a grotesque, terrifying grin. I tried to look away, but I couldn't. My reflection began to move independently, its eyes locking onto mine with a malevolent gleam. I screamed and stumbled back, my heart racing as I fled from that accursed room. Back in the storage room, I slammed the door shut and leaned against it, trying to catch my breath. What had just happened? I chalked it up to exhaustion, maybe a trick of the light. But deep down, I know it was something more, something sinister. As days passed, I couldn't shake the memory of that room. I became obsessed with finding out more about it. Late at night, when the restaurant was empty, I would sneak into the storage room and open the door. Every time, the corridor was there, beckoning me further into its abyss. One night, as I ventured deeper into the corridor, I stumbled upon a hidden chamber. It was a small, dusty office filled with old documents and photographs. The photographs depicted a restaurant that looked nothing like the one I knew. It was grand, with polished wood and elegant decor. The employees in the pictures wore formal uniforms, and the customers were dressed in their finest attire. But what caught my eye were the dates on the photographs. They were from decades ago. The documents were even more perplexing. They spoke of a tragic fire that had consumed the original Raising Cane's restaurant on this very spot decades ago. It was said that the fire had claimed the lives of many, including the founder of the restaurant, a man named Samuel Cane. The documents also mentioned a curse that had supposedly been cast upon the place by a disgruntled employee who had perished in the fire. The more I delved into the history, the more I realized that the restaurant I knew was built on the ashes of the original one, and the cursed corridor was a remnant of that dark past. The mirror in that room, it seemed, held a malevolent presence, a spirit trapped in time, and it was feeding off my fear. With each visit to the corridor, the mirror's grip on me grew stronger. It began to communicate with me, whispering in a voice that chilled my soul. It told me the tragic story of Samuel Cain, how he had been a cruel and demanding employer, how he had driven his employees to despair, and it claimed that it was the spirit of one of those tormented employees, seeking vengeance. My life outside of work deteriorated as the mirror consumed my thoughts. I was plagued by nightmares, each one more horrifying than the last. In these dreams, I would see the restaurant as it once was, grand and opulent, and Samuel Cain himself, a sinister figure with hollow eyes looming over me. The mirror's influence extended beyond my dreams. Objects in the restaurant began to move on their own, chairs scraping across the floor, utensils clattering. The employees whispered about the strange occurrences, but I couldn't bring myself to tell them the truth. They would think I was insane. One fateful evening, as I stood at the counter taking orders, I felt a presence behind me. Turning slowly, I saw Samuel Cain's reflection in the glass door. He was there, a shadowy figure, dressed in a suit that smoldered with ethereal flames. His eyes bore into mine, filled with anger and hatred. My heart raced, and I stumbled back, knocking over a stack of trays. The restaurant erupted into chaos as customers screamed and fled. The employees rushed to my side, asking what had happened. I couldn't find the words to explain. All I could do was point at the glass door, but when they looked, there was nothing there. I knew then that I had to confront the mirror and the spirit of Samuel Cain. I returned to the corridor, my heart heavy with dread. The mirror awaited me, its cracked surface shimmering with malevolence. I gazed into it, and the spirit of Samuel Cain materialized before me, his form flickering like a dying flame. He accused me of being a part of the curse, of perpetuating the cycle of torment. He demanded that I pay for my sins, that I suffer as he and his employees had suffered. I begged for mercy, for release from this nightmare, but he was unrelenting. In a desperate bid to break the curse, I smashed the mirror with a nearby chair. Shards of glass flew through the air, and the room filled with a deafening, otherworldly scream. Samuel Cain's spirit wailed in agony as it dissipated into a swirling vortex of darkness. The curse was broken, but the cost was high. The restaurant, once again, returned to normal. The mirror was gone, and the corridor sealed itself off. The mysterious occurrences ceased, and life went on as if nothing had happened. I continued to work at Raising Cane's, but the experience had left its mark on me. I couldn't forget the horrors I had witnessed, the malevolent spirit that had tormented me. And I couldn't shake the feeling that the restaurant still held dark secrets that might one day resurface. As I write this, I can't help but wonder if the curse truly is gone, or if it merely lies dormant, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to stumble upon the corridor and unleash the terror that lurked. Within Raising Cane's chicken fingers,